What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Good evening, everybody. I am Love Coach Scott Gatamas. Welcome to the Awakening World Saturday night, and happy Mother's Day weekend to everybody. I want to start by acknowledging all the mothers watching and listening. God bless you. There's probably no greater profession in the world, no more important thing than anyone can do than to be a good parent. So I really acknowledge and honor, and I think that we live in a culture that doesn't honor mothers, certainly as I wish that it did. And tonight we're honoring our big mother. We're honoring our Pachamama, GAIA. And we're going to hear some really beautiful, very heartful connection to the mother from some of the people I respect the most. And we're also going to be playing again, and I know I've played it a couple times now on the show, the KOGI, the message from the KOGI people about our mother, what Mother Earth has to say, her message to our people. Now, what's especially unique about tonight is the woman who is the primary connection between the KOGI people and kind of the Western world is going to be on the show tonight, sharing more details about how this message kind of manifested, the story behind it, and how to best work with it. We also have Anasuya Isaacs with us tonight. We love to call her Hallelujah Anasuya, Anasuya Hallelujah. She's with us. In fact, I should spotlight her as I'm talking about that. There she is. So we've got Anasuya with us.
Hello.
As always, wonderful music with our beloved brother Omashar. And coming back, two of our favorite musical artists, Honey of the Heart, are with us. And so we're going to have live music with Honey of the Heart. So it's going to be a really, really special show tonight. And to get us going right off the bat, we're going to turn it right over to Honey of the Heart to get us going.
Awesome. Thanks, Scott, for having us back for another time. I lost count how many times we've done this, but it was really grateful to be part of the show over the pandemic for sure.
Feels familiar. Feels like home. So glad to be back.
We're going to do a brand new. This is Shadow. I'll climb a mountain for you. Cause I'll climb a mountain for you.
but keeping an open heart, but keeping an open heart. I know I've gained from pain, but that doesn't mean I need to fear it. I know I've also came from love, and I can still rise above the shadows that are part of me, the shadows that are part of me. Hold on to who you are. You can't let down your guard. Be your own compass toward your dream, but keeping an open heart, but keeping an open heart. Cause I'll climb a mountain for you.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Don't go away for a moment because I want to read a couple of the comments and then I want to share something that came up for me. Ellie writes, such good old-fashioned goodness with these two. More, please. Well, don't worry, Ellie. They are going to do another song for us a little later on in the show. Richard writes, always great to see these lion-hearted together. Susan writes, awesome harmony. And Pam writes, keeping an open heart, a perfect song from where I am right now. My relationship with my mother was complicated and difficult, and I know I did not appreciate her well enough while she was alive. She did the best she could for me on Mother's Day, and this song helps me to practice acceptance. I'm beginning my Saturday night with you with tears of beauty. Ayada writes, Marin and Justin, how wonderful to have you back. I love the sweetness of your music, such deep and tender soul medicine. Please come back soon again. So right off the bat, you have touched our hearts. And I just want to acknowledge it's very lovely seeing a couple. You have a child, you play music together, you have a new house that you're moving into, hopefully in June. You know, that's on the docket. And what stood out for me in your lyrics was holding on to the love and embracing the shadows. And that is healthy marriage. That is healthy relationship where we can hold on to our love and also work with the shadow side. And I just want to thank you for the sweetness of your relationship comes through, and the words strike home, as you can hear from all the people coming in.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you, everyone, for your presence and listening and making a space for us to be ourselves.
And it's perfect because tonight we're about to play a video that's pretty strong. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but it's the KOGI people that have spent really their entire existence is about listening to the earth and being guardians of the earth. And they've released a very powerful and somewhat disturbing message from the mother. So we're going to play that video in a little bit and really build the show around it. So if you get a chance, stick around. I'm going to bring Anasuya on because she is, when I knew that I wanted to do a show honoring Pachamama, I want you to know, Anasuya, you were the first person I thought of. It's like, okay, let's bring on Anasuya because I know you love the mother. And I also know that you are a spokesperson. You tune in. You're a clear channel for your spirit to flow through, and specifically for our beloved Mother Earth Gaia to come through. So our plan is Anasuya is going to lead us on a little meditation. We're going to watch the video message from the mother from the KOGI, and then Anasuya is going to share her understanding, her perspective about where we stand. So I'm turning it all over to you, Anasuya.
Thank you so much, Scott, for inviting me here and to partner with Mother in understanding what is wanted and needed at this time in our co-creation of our world right now. So to prepare us for that, let us sit straight with our back straight up so that our shoulders can be peeled back and our diaphragm way open so that our heart has room to expand. And relax your sitting bones so that there's no pressure or tension in your shoulders, your back, or your hips. Just feel everything flowing down through your sitting bones, through your chair or your floor or whatever you're sitting on. Just feel it going out of your body, all tension out of your body to leave you relaxed and breathing calmly. So let's take a deep breath in, feeling all the tension, and then when you exhale, release it. This time, when you breathe in, bring your shoulders up to your ears, scrunch them up tight to your ears. Breathe in, feel your shoulders all the way to your ears. And then when you exhale, drop quickly your shoulders down. Exhale. One more time. Breathe in deeply as you pull up your shoulders all the way to your ears. Pull them all the way to your ears. Pull all to your ears. Feel tightly. Pull your arms tightly to your sides. And then when you exhale, release quickly your shoulders down. Exhale. And feel how the cells in your body feel different now. What do you notice? Are they spinning in a different direction? Are they lighting up? Are they expanding? How are your muscles feeling? Relaxed? Tingle? Continue to breathe softly in through your nose, out through your mouth for a little while, just to keep the circulation of oxygen in, CO2 out, flowing easily, unobstructed. Because a lot of times we hold our breath and don't even realize we're holding our breath, which forms the tension in our chest and in our shoulders. So we just want to keep the flow of air and the Holy Spirit, the Shakti, whatever you call her, flowing. And one of the ways that flows in us is through air, the enlivening force. Because if we don't have the Holy Spirit, the Shakti, the Shekinah, flowing through us, we harden and return to dust. So let's let the flow of the mother, because the Holy Spirit for me is the divine feminine, and it is so in many holy texts, including Hebrew and in Aramaic. The Holy Spirit is feminine, it is mother, it is wife of God. So as we honor the mother tonight, let us keep her flowing easily in us, through us, with us, for us. Let her flow in and let her flow out, unobstructed, no obstacles, just with grace and ease. And if you feel like you have any struggle with it, just pray to her right now and say, Mother, come to me. Relax my breathing, open my heart, expand my lungs, fill me with your grace, fill me with your beauty, fill me with you. Let everything that is not you, let me exhale it. Let all obstacles to being at peace in this moment, let me exhale it. Let me release it to be transmuted into love that I then can breathe in and receive. Mother, we are so grateful for this opportunity to be with you in all of your emanations and forms as you come through each one of us, as you come through this technology, as you come through sound in our voices, as you come through this message from the KOGI people, these beautiful indigenous people who have isolated themselves from the world and have no influence of the outside world on their cosmology, on their interactions with you, on their relationship with you. They have no outside influence or miseducation to deal with. So they have a very pure channel from you to them and from them to you. And we're blessed to be able to hear the messages that you have been sending through them repeatedly, again and again, until we hear it. So in this peaceful state that we're in, fully relaxed, allowing your presence to flow in us, with us, through us, for us, on our breath, we open our hearts wide and we open our minds wider to hearing this message from you as it's coming through the KOGIs, to being receptive to hearing what you would have us hear, what you would have us to know. And it is different for each person. So may we respect the way you come to us for us. May we discern it with ease and not with fear. May we welcome it with love and not with trepidation. May we receive your guidance because we know whatever is happening, you are with us, you are for us, and we don't have to do anything alone. You're always here. All we have to do is ask. So we're asking now to be prepared to receive this wisdom and guidance that you have coming through the KOGI and through the channel information you will give through me. Thank you for this peace beyond understanding that we are experiencing right now. Thank you for your light and the gorgeousness and depths of your darkness. May the darkness be as welcomed as we welcome the light. For in that darkness, many things are conceived and grown and prepared for new life and birth. May any confusion that we have be seen as the darkness of the womb, where all confusion ends, where all doubt ends, where all fear ends. We are safe in the mother's arms. We know she's got us, and we're just ready for more food. So, that said, welcome. Ashe, Aho, Amen, and Awum Om.
Ashe. That's perfect. Thank you so much. I'm going to go right into the video.
mother. I am in the heart of the universe. Throughout all of time, I have never suffered from such heat or exhaustion. I have endured for the last 1,000 years. Since that time, my natural connection points, my rivers, reservoirs, and internal waterways across all continents have been obstructed and are full of pollution. I cannot cleanse or recuperate. In December of 2023, I will start to rise and move and turn, sending this message out to all my children around the world. The storms, the earthquakes, the hurricanes, and the rise of the ocean will come. If the governments, the sultans, the princes, presidents, and kings of the world do not listen and act, in 2 years' time, only 30% of the earth will remain. I am the mother. I have always endured despite arrows being put in my eyes and in my body. I am not seeking to defend myself. I remain calm. But now, I must recuperate. There are 2 ways for me to heal. The first, I could take the law of nature into my own hands. This way, I will go in search of my medicine so I can cure my body, heal my energies, and all that I'm suffering from. There will be great changes upon the earth. You will feel me recovering. You will feel me moving. I will not do this to cause harm to you. It will mean I am recuperating my body. Or the second way. All my children will make the healing happen for me, so I will not need to do it myself. I will put my older children in charge of my recovery. They will go and search for my medicines, for my cure, so I can be healed and recuperate with their help. You, my children, must all be united and deliver what is needed for your older brothers so they can do the healing where I have been injured by you, my younger ones. Each one of the rulers of the world, of the governments of the world, must say, yes, mother, I will stand with you. I will give my help to where you have been injured. I, your mother, have given you everything. When these changes start to happen, we will see whether you listen and act, or whether I myself will have to do what I must to recover the balance on Earth. If in just 6 months from now, by June 2024, you say, yes, we will provide what is needed, then my oldest children will be able to help cure my body. If this message is ignored, I will take the law of nature into my own hands, 1.5 years from that date. This is the message that the Mother has given, she who is in the heart of the world.
We're going to actually meet Jyoti, the woman who created the video and runs the foundation. She's going to be on a little bit later on in the program tonight. So that's why I'm stopping it, because we'll get a chance to learn more about how to follow up with that organization. But honestly, again, first of all, thank you so much for being with us. I know you've seen this video, you've downloaded your own input. So I'm going to ask you to unmute. And then share with us what is most alive for you right now in this moment.
Whew. Let us take a deep breath. Breathing in and feeling the air fill our whole chest. And exhaling. We heard something pretty amazing, mind-boggling, and yet we're very aware of how much there's truth in what we heard, how much we have even witnessed some of these ways that Mother Gaia, Mother Earth, is showing her ways of recuperating her health and hopefully sanity. We've seen the way she's responding to what we humans are doing to the oceans, to the seas, to the snow caps, to the air, to the earth, to each other. We've seen it, and maybe we haven't been connecting the dots because they seem so random and so sparse. Whatever's happening in the North Pole is, we see it and say, oh, those poor polar bears are drowning. And then we hear something about the volcano that just erupted in Guatemala. Oh, wow, that was pretty, And then we'll hear about the torrential flooding that's happening in Saudi Arabia, flooding in the desert. And we think, oh, that's odd. But wow, look at all that rain. And last year we had the horrible floods that did so much damage to Pakistan. And so many people lost their lives in that. And we see these as random incidents of happening. It's like, wow, there's craziness over there. But what we don't see is how much craziness is here that could be sent out there. Because we may not be thinking that if a bomb is dropped in Ukraine or in Russia, or if bombs are dropped in Gaza and the West Bank, if bombs are dropped in Iran and Yemen, on the earth, bombs of enormous magnitude, if you drop it on the earth, there is a vibrational frequency that goes into the land where it is, as well as through the bottom of the earth, and it comes out somewhere. Because the earth is circular. So if you drop something here, it has to go somewhere. So it goes and finds an expression somewhere else. And maybe the bombs dropped in Ukraine come through the earth and find its outing in the volcanic eruption in Guatemala. We don't know, but we do know that everything is both connected and interconnected and interdependent on purpose, intentionally. We were not created to be several planets. We are on one earth, so we're one people with one set of species that are in the air, in the water, on the land. We're just one that has different expressions of itself that looks like diversity, that looks like difference, but we're really one. But we have lost our understanding that the earth is us as well. And as we treat the earth, this is how we're treating ourselves. Mm-hmm. And as we damage the earth, we are hurting ourselves. And vice versa. As we do damage to ourselves through the way we speak to ourselves, through the way we honor or dishonor our bodies, to the way we nourish or malnourish ourselves, to the way we nurture and cultivate uplifting, empowering thoughts or damaging thoughts that express self-hatred, if we're honest. How does that manifest in the rage we see in the winds, the rage we see in the seas, the rage we see that manifests as war. We have people protesting that we agree with, and we have people protesting that we don't agree with. We have people protesting and screaming and making noise in expression of their passions. But where are we doing that screaming in ourselves that they are mirrors for? Because there is no other. There is no them, and there's no over there. Everything that's happening is a mirror for what's going on within us. Are we willing to see that? That we have a direct, we can directly impact. And we do whether we're conscious of it or not. So really, Mother is asking us to be conscious and intentional of how our thought processes, our vibration, our very breathing, is our breathing toxic? Is our excrement toxic? Or is it healing so that the earth can produce healthy food? What are we emitting? Because it is in that conscious awareness and that intentionality to do no harm, ahimsa, which is one of the vows of in Hinduism, ahimsa, do no harm. To them, it's like, don't kill a fly. To them, it's not eating meat. To them, it's not chopping down trees. To them, do no harm. We have to find what does that mean for us. And it starts with do no harm to ourselves. Do no harm with how we speak about ourselves. I'm so stupid. I'm so dumb. I shouldn't have done it this way. The way that we do self-harm is how we harm the earth, how we harm animals, how we harm each other. We don't do to others and other things that we don't do to ourselves first. If we don't have the consciousness to do harm, we won't have the consciousness to do harm to someone else. However, we have a warring spirit that has to be right, it has to have the last word, it has to be expert, it has to be the knowing, and that is a form of violence. There's no surrender in that. There's no allowing others to be. There's no being with what is and what isn't. No, it's control. And that's what we're seeing mothers talking about in the KOGI film, is how our undisciplined, unloving, unkind, dishonest way of engaging with our relationship to the earth, our relationship to trees, our relationship to nature, our relationship to us, that dishonest way we've been being has caused irreparable damage. And we've started to see Mother recalibrating and taking back her form during COVID when you couldn't move. So the waters got replenished and cleansed. Nature started to come. Animals we hadn't seen in decades started to repopulate because there was nothing humans were doing to stop it, to impede it, to prevent it. And then we came out of COVID. And instead of learning from that and establishing ways to continue that way of loving the earth, we went right back full speed ahead to damaging and blowing up things and spilling oil in the oceans and killing things and destroying the nature and chopping down trees. We just went right back as if we weren't in awe of the beauty of the oceans that had been cleansed. If we weren't in awe of the animals that felt safe to roam, we forgot all about that. And she's asking us now to not forget again that we impact all of life, all our relations. Even those people that don't look like us, that don't talk like us, different language, different faith, different religion, different color. Yes, all our relations. Can we make peace with other humans? Can we make peace with the trees? Can we make peace with the ants? Or do we have to keep getting ant killer and blowing them up? Why don't they matter? Why do their lives not matter? Why do the lives of children in the Congo don't matter? Why do the lives of the whales not matter? Why do the lives of girls not matter? Whose life matters? We need to engage with what matters and who matters. Because the hierarchy that we have in our head about who it matters and what's okay to bomb and what's okay to jail and who's okay to miseducate and who's okay to leave at the border in prisons without their mothers and fathers in detentions. Us saying these people deserve that is a sickness that we see in the earth. It's a sickness. It's a hole in the soul that we have to fill. And us addressing the hole in our soul, we can't change other people. We can change ourselves. And that's the miracle. That's the real revolution. In the past, revolution looked like taking over other lands and other people, having control, and then we are powerful. No, the real power is being able to change yourself. That is where your power is, and that's where the miracles lie. Do you have the courage to do that? Because that is what the KOGI message is saying. Change yourself and change this world around us so that she doesn't have to wipe us all out and start again, as has been done many times. We've studied it, we've heard about it, we read it, we might have not even believed it. It doesn't even matter, because one day we're here and one day we're not. But we can choose how to be between now and that time. Who do you say you're going to be? Who do you say matters enough for your attention? And more importantly, do you say you matter enough to heal the hole in your soul and transmute and transform that which has come before to being a partner with Mother, to being a partner with the earth, to being a partner with the trees and the bees and the dolphins and the ants and the stars and the mystery of all that we don't even know that exists, that is here too, in other dimensions and forms as insentient beings. Can we choose? No, not can, because of course we can. Will we choose to be in partnership with ourselves, to love ourselves, the things we don't love about us, to love us wholly, because that self-love is healing to the same degree that our self-hatred, no matter how it is expressed, is war. And if we have the power and the courage to declare war on ourselves, we have no problem beating anybody else up. We have no problem jailing people. We have no problem blowing people up because we do it to ourselves. So this is an invitation from the Mother to love ourselves with radical, transformative, evolutionary love that will heal ourselves, each other, and the world. Thank you.
Hallelujah Anasuya. I'm grateful Connie and Andrew are back from Australia, which is wonderful. And we'll hear from them a little bit later today. It's also wonderful because Connie does my editing, and I am going to ask her to take what you just delivered, that beautiful offering. I'm going to make our own little segment of it because I want to post that on our YouTube channel and get that out to the world, because you are a clear channel for spirit to flow through. And I'm going to give myself credit because when I tuned in on doing the show, right away I got, get on Asuya, get on Asuya. There's hundreds of people that have been on the show, but it was like, that was like, oh, I got it. And now I know why. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm going to read a few comments that have come in response to what you're sharing.
I'd love to hear it.
Yeah. So All right, let's take a look here. Eleanor Joy writes, the sickness is our separation from our true self.
Yes.
True self is pure love. But we live in fear and act accordingly. Thank you, Anasuya. That was beautifully expressed. Ayada writes, Anasuya, I so relate to what you're saying. Thank you for such a clear, powerful, and loving articulation. Right? Absolutely. Susan writes, thank you for giving everyone a way to heal the earth by healing themselves. Anasuya, this is so empowering. Ellie writes, exactly right, sister. Thank you. um, also just want to acknowledge there's been some dialogue going on with Beloved Waterfall, who had a wonderful miracle healing in her family. So congratulations for that waterfall. And I'm grateful to see how your Global Peace Tribe family is supporting you. Tommy and Andrew did just write, yes, Anasuya, exclamation point. So beautifully expressed and healing and uplifting. Blessings to you.
Thank you, Tommy.
And then finally, Sonia and Jeffrey write, we need to prepare to go galactic, both with creating ability to use new science for travel and gravity control, and to greet our cosmic cousins into our loving consciousness. Yes.
Absolutely. We're not even alone in this universe. And there are innumerable, I mean, billions is not even enough. There's so many universes.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I want to let people know, I know you've got tickets for the show, so I'm going to let you go in a moment. But for people who want more of Anasuya, I'm going to put the link into the chat box. But of course, the majority of people watching are watching on Facebook. And I want to say hello to all of our friends watching on Facebook and YouTube. So go to Linktree. Does everybody know about Linktree? It's a wonderful way for people like Anasuya who have so many things going on to put all of her links in one place. And so you go to www.linktr.ee/Hallelujah Anasuya. That's linktr.ee/Hallelujah Anasuya. And there's all the different things she's got going on.
Well, I've got to add, I'll be adding more, but definitely go there, see what I'm going to be adding today, tomorrow, and on tomorrow, and join me. I'm having a course. I'm offering a course, a 90-minute experiential session with the Divine Dark Feminine next Friday from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. And it is an introduction to, each week I'll do an introduction to a different form of the Divine Dark Feminine from different cultures and different cosmologies. And we'll learn to partner with that expression of the mother to fulfill this prophecy of self-love and healing and rebirthing and renewal. So I'm on the journey.
Beautiful. Honestly, let's do this. Since you don't have that particular link up now, if you can get it to me before Monday morning, because on Mondays I send out play link to all of this week's shows, and in the cover letter I'll include that. I'll also include it in the YouTube recording of this show. Okay.
Oh, wonderful! I'll get it to you tomorrow.
Beautiful.
Thank you everyone for being here and for. I actually literally could feel your energy with me and with Mother and the oneness. We were really together in one breath, and it was very palpable to feel us breathing one breath in one accord to receive and release. And thank you for having the courage to even be still and present to hear something that may be a little challenging and fearful coming from the KOGI, and challenging coming from Mother through me. So it just hats off to you all. You're extraordinary beings. You wouldn't be here if you were not up to making a difference on this planet. And I just want to remind you that the first place to make that huge difference is within.
Beautiful. God bless you, Anasuya. Thank you so much. Hallelujah. Isn't she wonderful? Honey of the Heart are going to actually be back in about 15 minutes. So Omashar, I'm going to have you do your two songs a little bit later on in the show. And what I'm going to do is I did a pre-recorded video with both Luisa Teish and Jyoti. And Jyoti is the woman who has been the direct contact with the KOGI people. She's the one who oversaw the production of the video we just saw. And you're going to find this to be a really very insightful video. We're going to play about 20 minutes of it. And then Honey of the Heart's going to come back. Give us a chance to integrate a little bit of this. But Jyoti really provides some fascinating insight. So let me pull it up. And I'm going to go to advanced. I'm actually not going to play it that way. Here we go. I'm really grateful that on this show that we're celebrating our big mama, our Pachamama, our true mother, that we have two extraordinary women with us. And it's my pleasure to put the spotlight on Jyoti Ma, who has been very involved. She has an extraordinary background, as you can see in the bio that we're putting in the chat box. Quite an amazing life you've had.
Mother's kept me very busy.
Tell us a little bit about your personal relationship to Pachamama.
Oh, wow. That's a very good question. I would say that the Great Mother came and swallowed my life some 40 years ago and began to bring elders up my 14-mile logger road to myself and my community, and they would recognize something in us we didn't see yet. And they began to teach us and pass on to us their sacred ceremonial ways, which also brought us then into an understanding of the protocol of the earth and the mother's law. And that just grew. It grew us over these last 4 decades. And in the last little bit of this story, 13 years ago, about 13 years ago, the fountain was a vision, I call it an archetypal seed that the mother gave to me and asked me to activate. And so that took me down to Colombia, where I met with representatives from all the 4 original people. And at this point in time, we've worked with 3 of those 4, the Wiwa, the Arawaka, and the Kogi, which they prefer to be called now the Kagaba. And that brought us into a whole nother way of living life, following those protocols and embodying the original principles the mother has given us to live by, such as heart and love and compassion and reciprocity and collaboration, and all life is sacred. In the last couple of years, we've been closer with the Kagaba Nation, and we've been working all these 13 years with the Mamos. And if some of you don't know about the Mamos are the spiritual men leaders of the original people there in Colombia and the La Sierra Nevada. And when they're caught at birth and they can see that this human being has come in with a consciousness that is able and has the ability to open itself fully, then they are brought into the caves and they live in the caves out of the light of day, as how they speak about it, until they're 9 years old. And when they're 9 years old, then they're brought out and go through a set of exams to see if this consciousness has fully awakened and opened. And if it hasn't, then they go back in the caves and stay till they're 18. And our team and myself have worked closely with some that were in the caves for 28 years. So you can imagine, these are human beings that have been raised in the womb of the earth, and they have been absorbed in her, where they've received these teachings and awakened this consciousness so that they can be her instrument like no other. Many around the planet call them the older brother, the elder brother, and the reason is because they are one of the very few nations that still have many villages that have not been touched by the West, and they're living still in that original way of life from the original times. And so you can watch a film called Aluna, It will tell you more of their story and why they came down out of this place where no one had discovered, because the Mother Earth herself said, you need to go down. Your younger brother is getting lost and you must help them remember. And so a great sacrifice, they've come that way. So in these last few years, we have been brought in closely with the KOGI, and they are now instructing us about this last time of these 13 years, because you see the Eagle Condor prophecy, as they share it, since 2013, they opened the next part of that prophecy that would let us know that we were about to enter 13 years of a great, great cleanse. And when you look back at the last, 13 years, we're in the last 2 of that 13-year cycle of cleanse. And you can imagine, you can see what all has happened and what has transpired through the pandemic and through now more and more of the Mother's movements being felt through her earthquakes and her volcanoes and her floods and her droughts. She's letting us know that she's in a motion and she's in a movement. And we had been talking to them, and they had told us some time ago that there was going to be a time when they would need to go to the Arctic. And my fountain team and I had been planning a trip up to the Arctic. And we were about a year in the planning of it, working with many people out of Iceland. And we were in contact with many of the original people of the Baltic countries, and particularly starting to dream and create a way of education where we could bring the youth of those Baltic original people together with the youth in Europe, so they could begin to sit down and they could begin to understand that the original people walk with a way of life and a set of principles and Mother's Law in a very different way than the West has brought us and trained us in. And so we've got to remember, we've got to return to that original way of life. So this, as we were planning this, then the KOGI got a hold of us and they said the Mother has just given us instruction that she wants to activate 4 pillars. And the first pillar will be in the Arctic. So we were able to quickly raise some funds to bring them along into this journey that we had been planning. They first went with some of our team into Greenland. They walked across Greenland, bringing the pagamentos, and pagamentos are what they call earth payments. For you see, they know life and the foundation of life here on earth is based on reciprocity. So when the earth gives, they need to give back to her. So those are the pagamentos. They also go to the sacred sites there, and they go into a consultation with the spirits of that sacred site to determine what needs to happen in order for that site to be restored and rebalanced. So they marched this way across Greenland and then entered Iceland, where they met the rest of us there. We had been invited into the Arctic Assembly, where there were 3,000 world leaders and people that are doing remarkable things to try to help this earth during her great time of change and transformation. For she's ending a cycle of 26,000 years, and she's in the motion of ending that cycle as she opens to the next. As the prophecy goes, the ending will fall into the beginning in 2026. And that it's important that we watch the ending as it falls down, but to stay focused on that which is breaking through. And that which is breaking through will be carried by those individuals, organizations, and movements that are based on those original principles of reciprocity, collaboration, heart, unity, compassion, tolerance. All life is sacred.
Beautiful.
So this has been our instruction. And so when they went to the Arctic, moving through, they had not been out of their country. They had never been on an airplane. They had never been in an elevator. So you can imagine what it was like for them moving through the sea of 3,000 people. And they brought this message and presented it to the full assembly there. And after that, we were asked to be in a private audience with the Minister of the Environment. She was a beautiful woman. And she asked them to prepare a message that could be shown at COP28 in Dubai, which was going to happen the next few weeks. So they finished their pagamentos. They met and did this restoration and consultation in different sacred territories. And the very last place that they went was to the volcano. And they told people then that she's about to move in a very big way. And if you listen to her, her lava can flow under the cities instead of over them. Please listen to her. They then went back home and went into consultation. 2 days after they got back home, thousands of earthquakes went across Iceland, thousands of earthquakes. And the volcano, as you know, it went off and it's still flowing now. Yeah. So it was through all this movement that they gathered this message and brought it to us and said, you must get this first to COP28, and then you must take this and let it flow out across the lands. And so we had 2 weeks to prepare this video. Jeremy Whelan from the Wisdom Keepers was instrumental, and the creator working with Eleonora, who is the voice on this video. When we got it, we took it back to them to see if we had caught the message in the way that they intended it. They said that we had, and so it began to flow. And now
Thank you so much for giving us that introduction, and it really is meaningful. So I'm going to play the video, and then we'll bring up Luisa and talk about it. And of course, we've already just seen the video. So what I'm going to do is Honey and the Heart are back. And so we're going to have a chance to kind of just digest everything that we've seen and heard as Honey and the Heart play. And then we'll continue and we'll meet Luisa Teish. We're also going to hear today from Clare and Mark Dubois and from Larisa Stow. Welcome back, Honey of the Heart.
Thank you very much, Scott. Thanks for having us.
Tell us about now you guys are at a Beltane festival. Tell us a little bit about the festival that you're at.
I was just going to say, if you hear the kids screaming and the drumming in the background, there's a party going on of about 300 or 400 people.
It's a really beautiful
outside.
ceremony.
There's like women and men kind of doing this kind of dance together, putting up the maypole right now outside. Very sweet. Yeah, so we're kind of jumping in and out.
Yeah, and we're going to be playing there later tonight too. So.
A dog was getting into something that she shouldn't get into. Sorry about that. Thank you for sharing with us about Beltane, and thank you for coming back and taking a break from the Beltane Festival to bless us with your beautiful music. And it's really, really beautiful. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah. This is another new one called Coming Home, and hopefully you guys can help us visualize finding a home, because we have a home and we're stable, but we're looking to invest in an actual home, our dream home, here in the coming days, weeks. We don't know how long. So
we've been working on this prayer for a while, and it really goes along with like our relationship to the earth, and just even the concept of owning land is like a little overwhelming and doesn't quite work, right? And at the same time, this is how our society works. So for us, trying to get a good visualization and stay in that dream while having a lot of intention around being in integrity, even the work that's just recently been done with the Nishinan here, the local native tribe. Anyway, this song is our journey in that dream, the struggles and the sweetness, and I think all our journey in relationship to like just how we identify home in our bodies on this land in general. So here goes.
I'll actually try and do with the beat outside.
It's not too bad. We don't really hear it that much. It's just to the very, very distance, so don't worry about it.
Let's do our beat for sure. It's cold outside and we are driving, we are coming home. It's less than clear than we imagine, we are dreaming on. We know we can, 'cause we are magic, we are magic.
find our home anywhere. Let's ride the wind, harness the sun, drink in the sky until we're done. Until we're done. Curving time to make the moment stand still. We'll take in our fill. Take in our fill. Northbound train, see the horizon there in your eyes. I have your back, will you have it, will you have it, will you have mine too? I try my best to keep you with me, keep you with me, keep you close to my heart. You are my dear one, all my dreaming, all my scheming, all my challenge too. Oh, there's a choice that comes from the inside that is golden, pure and true. Oh, can you feel the power from here, my dear? We can find our freedom anywhere. Returning, relearning, what will it take to do a while? Just enough. You are home, you're where I roam to. How can we make a while home enough? Me and you, me and you, me and you. Oh, there's a shift on the wind, and we can listen again and again. Oh, can you hear the tune from here, my dear? We can find our song anywhere. It's cold outside and we are driving, we are driving, we are coming home. It's less than clear than we imagine, we imagine, we are dreaming on. We know we can, 'cause we imagine, we imagine, we have done it before. It's cold outside, we are driving, we are driving, we are coming home. It's cold outside and we are driving, we are driving, we are coming home. It's less than clear than we imagine, we imagine, we are dreaming on. We know we can, 'cause we imagine, we imagine, we have done it before. It's cold outside and we are driving, we are driving, we are coming home.
I just I love you guys. You know, it's kind of
Thanks.
cool because the last time I heard that song was on Sunday. It was their closing song at the concert that I had the great honor and pleasure to be at here in Nevada City. And I really want to encourage everybody. A lot of our viewers are in the Bay Area, and they play and have some shows coming up in the Bay Area. So I want to go to their website. And for those of you on Facebook, it's really easy to remember the website. It's their name, honeyoftheheart.com. Just go to honeyoftheheart.com. Want to encourage everybody, go there right now, put in your email address, and sign up so you can stay in touch with all the stuff that's going on with them. And go to shows. And I want to just highlight for our Bay Area friends some of the shows that they're going to be playing. Hey, there we are. Awakening World. They're going to be in UC Davis next Sunday, May 12th at 4 o'clock, UC Davis. And then on Saturday, oh, that's tomorrow. Tomorrow. And then next Saturday, a week from today, they're going to be doing a pair of events in Sebastopol at Soft Medicine. Now, my audience knows Soft Medicine because we just did a show from Soft Medicine 2 weeks ago. And what's cool is they're going to do a concert, but before that, Marin is going to be teaching NVC. And of course, we have a lot of compassionate communication, nonviolent communication teachers and teachings on this show. Marshall Rosenberg was my mentor. So Marin, tell us a little bit about your NVC offering on next Saturday in Sebastopol.
Yeah. Well, I've been studying and practicing since I think I was like 21 when I got introduced to it. So more than 2 decades. I think I'm inching closely upon 3 decades of NVC background here now. So I'm hoping to just do a basic intro, and the way that I like to integrate it, the way I learned it was really immersive. It was a really integrated, immersive experience in a communal setting. So for me, it's very embodied. Or so I've been told that when I speak about it, it's embodied. So, running through all of the different tools, the parts, the concepts, and then being able to really practice and play in what empathy is, being able to exchange back and forth. And Justin and I have been practicing for a long time. I mean, since we've been together, it's been something that I needed and wanted to even relate. So he's been in an immersive training. So we're starting to hold space together and present together, and it's really exciting. I think especially because it's hard. It can be like it's hardest in more intimate relationships. So to be able to see people through it, and I think for us to be surrounded in it, it's a win-win on both sides. We get to be steeped in it and offer, and we get to be supported in it ourselves, which we can't do this alone. We're not meant to do it alone. So yeah, I get to geek out on stuff I love a lot, have so much deep love and respect for Marshall and those tools. And if I think about all the healing work I've done in my life, and I've done a lot of personal growth work, it's one of the top, it's in my top, probably 3 tools of what has made a difference in my life is receiving amazing empathy in moments of stress or overwhelm. So it's a gift I want to give, especially as a parent, especially as a being in a partnership or in a community. We don't get taught how to communicate, so I get really excited about just offering intros. I know for me, I don't know how many intros I just kept attending over and over again because the concepts deepen. There's so much, as you know, there's so many places to go inside of each concept or part of it. So
the next time we're doing a compassionate communication show, I'm going to invite you and see if you can join us as one of the teachers and facilitators of that, so we can get to see that side of you. And how is it for you, Justin? How is being immersed in the wonderful world of nonviolent communication been for you?
My first year that I met Marin, I went to her NVC family camp, longest running family camp up in Vashon Island, where she's from. And on the first day, I had an empathy exchange with this 12-year-old girl, and we were both in tears. And I was just shocked to have such a deep connection right away with a stranger. And she didn't feel like a stranger. Her heart was cracked open, mine too. And just the connection and the vulnerability and the trust. How many kids going into teenage years has that trust of just seeing a stranger and just opening up about something pretty vulnerable and being seen. So I think it kind of cracked me open, and I want to support
being seen
that.
by them too. I remember you naming that.
Yeah.
Like, here's a kid,
Beautiful.
amazing empathy right now.
I can remember being at an NVC family camp, and I was there to help teach. And I was talking to a mother. She was about your age. And all of a sudden, her son comes running up. He's about 10 years old. He goes, Mommy, Mommy, I need a timeout. I'm too mad to play fair right now.
Yeah.
Right? Like, is that cool? And it stuck with me. Like, there is the power of a young person learning compassionate communication, pulling himself out, recognizing that he needs a timeout to calm his nervous system so he can go back and play fair.
Yeah, a lot of the kids that grew up at that family camp are now helping co-run. There's actually a family camp we're running this July. So it just gives me chills to think about that. A lot of those kids never went to an instructional class, but they knew the whole time, like, oh, this feeling of being accepted and known and cared for is so deeply integrated. They're like, I want more, and I want other people to have it. Like, I want this quality of connection wherever I go, but it's not always as available. So yeah, thanks
Well, of course, honey of the heart would be teaching the language of the heart, which is really what compassionate communication, also known as NVC or nonviolent communication, is. It's the language of the heart. A couple of things. I mean, of course, lots of comments coming in about how beautiful the music was. And Ellie, who's watching and is a wonderful psychic, offers that she perceives you have many profound past lives together, including as a brother and a sister. And she sees the beautiful natural bond between you in many past lives. So there you have it, a little free mini psychic reading from our friend Ellie.
Thank you, Ellie.
Thank you both. And again, everybody, remember that you can get all things Honey of the Heart, learn about their shows, buy their music. They're going to also be at Soul Play. We love Soul Play. And Soft Medicine. I might try and make that, actually. I will be in the Bay Area then. So maybe I can bring some friends to Sebastopol and meet some of our Global Peace Tribers on May 18th. So thank you both so much for being with us and lightening up our show tonight. We love you so much.
For having us.
Thanks, Scott.
Including us in this beautiful offering.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you all.
So we're going to go back to the video that we were watching. And in a moment, you're going to meet Luisa Teish, who's an extraordinarily well-loved, beloved elder. So we're going to hear a little bit more from Jyoti and from Luisa. And let's go back to our video. Now let's see where it is. And all that goodness, I want to make sure that I've got it queued up to the right spot, which actually is going to take a moment. Honey of the Heart. I think I accidentally closed it, so I need to reopen it. While I'm doing that, I'm going to go to Beloved Omashar and ask Omashar to cover for me for a moment. Maybe share whatever comes up for you and what we've seen so far.
Oh, my goodness. So are you wanting a song from me or just my comments?
Your comments. We'll get to a song in a few minutes, but I need to reopen the Luisa and Jyoti video and find the right spot.
Completely inspired by the show tonight and to hear Honey of the Heart speaking about NVC in such a beautiful way. It's just kind of tied everything together, and Anasuya was just such a brilliant start and being brought into the heart. And what has really stood out is I've seen that KOGI video several times. We know the dire straits that the earth is in, and most of us on this call know the dire straits have been created by the dire straits within ourselves as a race. And it's now kind of almost a race to get those dire straits straightened up so that it can manifest as a cleaner earth. But I really appreciate Jyoti Ma being on tonight, because I have an understanding of the KOGI and the other original beginnings of our earth walk through her that I would never have had before. And, I've seen so many dire warnings about the earth that she kind of gets a little tired of it, which is kind of a bit of a weird thing to say, but it's true. and to have a deeper understanding there and to keep it actually at the forefront, because my walk at the moment is to every single day, it's a weeding. It's literally a weeding of my thoughts and how am I feeling? How am I showing up in the world? How am I loving my neighbor? How am I loving everybody in the neighborhood that I'm at? And I get a little tired of it, but it's a work that I will never give up because I'm making a headway. I'm getting a momentum by literally weeding my thoughts. And when negative emotions come up, just immediately sitting down and not going into the negative emotion, but actually going, why was that caused and what was the thought form around it? And nearly all of the times the thought form was created in my early life and that I've only just now become aware of, that I've been recreating these negative thought forms, which have been, recreating a negative world. And so it really is in our hands, and we are all individually very, very powerful. And as we come together and collectively clear out our hearts and our minds and walk together with a new vision, we are really recreating the world. And how that will bode with the reality of the dire place that Mother Earth is in, we will see. But all we can do is do our best. That's all we can do, right, Scott? Just do our best every single day. Breathe and walk amongst like-minded people, and have the conversations which are hard but are needed. Because if I don't talk to you and you don't talk to me, I will not know where you're coming from. And it is really important for me now to be fully open to all of my brothers and sisters. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Perfect timing to kind of allow me the chance to bring the video back up.
And for you to see my amazing, this is my Pachamama. Look at that.
Look at your Pachamama background. That is gorgeous. You are the king of backgrounds.
And it just so happens that I can fit in as Papa.
Our beloved brother Wild Monk, Jerry points out that the KOGI, we didn't even know they existed until 1974. They've been that isolated from the Western world. And so
it is truly amazing, because imagine what Jyoti Mara was saying about, imagine being in a cave for 9 years, and then if you haven't got it down, you're going to be in for another 9 years. And it seems like a life sentence to us, but I do not think it is. I think it's a love sentence. And when you strip away all of our current effluvia, then and we get back to the pulse of the earth, who better to bring us up but Mother herself, Mother Earth herself. And I'm kind of envious, and so I'm really grateful to be exposed to it now, because we can embrace all of it as much as we can. So.
Absolutely. Thank you. We will have Omashar music shortly, but let's go back to the video for a little bit. And by the way, as you see, oh, come on, please play. Oh, come on, I've got it queued up. Please play. There we go. Wow. That is so powerful. Such a powerful. It's probably the 6th or 7th time I've watched it. And it's an extraordinary moment in time that such a clear message from the mother has been delivered. And thank you, Jyoti, for your work and your organization's work in creating that video and getting it out to the world.
Well, Scott, ever since it's gone out, the original people around the planet it's like they all stood up, and there's a vibration that's coming out from our original people that is so strong right now, because there was validation that, yes, they're receiving similar messages. Yes, there is an urgency. Yes, we've been carrying this prophecy, and it's the times that we're in have been carried even through our creation stories to prepare us for this moment of choice that we're in, a choice like we've never been before. And so that has also stirred many people around the planet. I'm in long dialogues daily, talking to organizations and movements and people that are ready and are saying yes, and do want her to know by this summer solstice that yes, we are standing with you, and yes, we are shouting out what can we do? We are listening. And Luisa, my dear friend Luisa, she and I've known each other for, I don't know, we were trying to think back the other day, and it's been many decades now.
30 years or so.
Yeah, that we've been walking together. And in this last, since 2019, we became members of the Mother Earth delegation of United Original Nations. And so she's got stories that she maybe can even offer up to us in this way today. And that we're doing this on Mother's Day, that you're bringing this program together. We're sorry we can't be with you there all live. We already had obligations we couldn't change, but our hearts are with you and our prayers are with you in this day where we can all do a resounding shout out to the Mother. Yes, we are listening, and we are going to follow what you need.
Sure.
Well,
I
welcome,
like to
Luisa.
begin
It's
by
wonderful to have
saying,
you with us. Go ahead.
I like to begin by saying Alafia. Alafia is a Yoruba greeting wherein I am asking that we have good health and be at peace with our neighbor. Now, you know, such a greeting is valid all the time, but it's especially important now when we are experiencing the aftermath of the COVID pandemic and taking a good look at the truth of the present pandemic, which the World Health Organization says the new pandemic is loneliness.
Mm.
The new pandemic is isolation, depression, drug addiction, and suicide. As a people, humans, we find ourselves, a lot of us are alienated from Mother Earth and from each other. And this is killing us.
Mm.
This is killing us. And it must be addressed. So I want to just begin with a chant wherein I am asking for blessings for the entire world. Funire da elegba, funire da, funire da olofi, funire da, funire da olorum, funire da. Funire da supa, funire da, funire da omi, funire da, funire da ile, funire da, funire da egungun, funire da. Funire da yami, funire da, funire ida. I ask for balance and good fortune for all of creation.
Mm.
You know, in Yoruba tradition, we gather the priests of all the different locations, the priests in Africa, in Brazil, in the Caribbean islands, and the United States. We gather to perform divination, wherein we ask the ancestors and the spirits of the world to guide us in what is coming and how we should conduct ourselves. The messages are very, very clear that there's a direct correlation between our behavior and the mother's response. You know, we take the business of being children of the earth very, very seriously, and we are very clear that she can nurse us and she can also spank us. She can also spank us. And there is a direct relationship between those two things, you know. So the The number one virtue in our tradition is humility.
Mm.
And it means that we don't always assume that we already know what is best, which is a part of Western arrogance. The idea that we are separate from our mother simply does not work. It simply does not work. And so we regularly manifest those original principles of reciprocity. If I'm going into the forest to fetch herbs, not only am I going to cleanse before I go, I'm going to sing a song before I enter. I'm going to ask permission to enter. I'm going to make an offering and be very, very careful about how I remove the herb and give thanks for that herb, which I'm then going to use to bring about a healing, you see. Because for us, all aspects of nature are alive. And we have a deity named Osain, who is the deity of the wild herbs in the forest. And it's said that Osain has one eye, one ear, one arm, and one leg, and that he can see more, do more, hear more, and dance better than those of us who have two of everything. This is how powerful the forest is. Okay, every aspect of nature is personified and deified and related to according to their nature. So the ocean is Mother Yemaya. The earth is Mother Ile. The moon is Mother Asupa. You see, every aspect of Mother Earth, every aspect of the divine is personified so that we can be reminded that we are the children of, not the dictators of, not the dominators of, right? But the children of. And two things that came out of the reading this year, because there was lots of instruction, but two things that we must pay attention to. It was said that, as the KOGI said in the film, that the so-called rulers of the world better pay attention. And ironically, they are often the people who refuse to see what is happening to the earth, so long as they can extract gold and oil and so on, they don't see, or they refuse to see what is going on. It was said that our rulers wear the crown of a king with the mind of a child. And we can see this immaturity. And if your eyes are open, like Jyoti said, you can see that we now have earthquakes in places where that's not standard. We have sudden floods. We have tsunamis. We have places where the earth is cracking open and volcanoes are erupting. The good thing is that Mother Earth is aware, is receptive and responsive. And for that, the people in my tradition, and especially in my compound, we perform rituals and actions to tell Mother Earth, we are here cleaning up the trash off of the shore of the ocean, okay? Look at me. This is Teish. Do you see me picking up the trash? Okay. Do you see me doing the work that I was told to do? So when mama starts spanking people, she can go past me with that because my report card, my report card is clear. Okay. The situation is dire. We were told to take care of our children. And the weekend of May 17th, I have a ritual and concentration on the children of the world because our babies are dying everywhere. And in a tradition where ancestor reverence is important, we see this murder of babies as the threat of the extinction of ourselves. Our children are sacred to us. So to see children dying the way they are, starving the way they are, is species suicide. We are killing ourselves, okay? And the ancestors are very, very concerned about this and giving us lots of instructions. The good news is, in the middle of all of this madness, we've been told that the trees and the plants know how sick we are, that they are meeting underground and talking with each other about how they can help us. The plants are meeting underground and talking with each other about how they can help us. Huh. You know, when I
Wow.
think about deforestation, when I think about pollution of the soil, you know, like the KOGI said, I hope that enough of us will wake up to do the work of cleaning up this pollution so that we can be identified as the children of her first sober making, not the children of her drunkenness who are destroying stuff, but we are very, very clear that Earth is the mother, and according to our behavior, she will spank us.
You know, first of all, thank you, Luisa, for everything you've shared. And I know my audience is going to be just completely resonating with everything you say. Question for you both. What I think disturbs me or scares me the most whenever I watch the video is the idea that the calling upon the leaders. I personally have no confidence in the leaders. And so, and clearly, as we see what's happening with Russia and Ukraine and in Gaza, the horror in Gaza, you know, our leaders are not getting the call. They're not doing it. They're not responding. Like you said, the children, they're allowing children to starve. There's a genocide happening right now, and we're not stopping it. So can we, the non-leaders, are there enough of us to do our part to make the difference necessary?
Well, you'll remember that the video is being prepared and was to go to COP28 where the leaders were all meeting.
Right.
And that was part of why they made such a loud, resounding message to them. And then their instruction was to then let it flow around the planet. And I believe that people say, well, what can we do, Jyoti? I believe that every single one of us has been, there's a string of this new dawn that we've been cultivating over these years. And we're coming up with that strand up to the world table. And now her instruction is just light it up as loud and bright as you can, because as each one of us does that, then it radiates out and it mixes with the other and brings us into our own state of oneness. And I believe that it will do exactly what Luisa is saying. You know, the trees and the plants are all meeting underground to help us know what to do. And so we've got to receive that enrichment from them and let it bubble up inside of us in our own communities, in our own families, in all the different places we may be working globally, and listen to the healings that the original people carry, because they've got this instruction that's been passed on to them from the original time to be caretakers of this Mother Earth. And if we can sit and listen, they're going to help us know what to do with these threads we are carrying and how to weave them into the new dawn that's revealing itself even as we speak. I actually am most of the people I talk to, they all nations, they say, we're ready. We knew this time was coming. We knew that we were being prepared, and we are ready to meet this time and stand with her and let go of a need for outcome of whether it's going to work or not, but just to stand firmly in ourselves with that full empowerment of the light we each carry, and allow ourselves to bring all nations together in a unified coming together like we've never seen before.
Mhm.
And
You know, I
Luisa,
want to say, I'm sorry, I want to say that one of the things that I'm doing is teaching the elements of ritual, okay? So that people will see the universal principles. That's elements of ritual one. The universal principles that apply to all life on earth, all people, irrespective of race, religion, sex. There's certain universal laws that apply to all of us, and we take a look at those and then take a look at how they're manifested in every culture. When I am sure that those students have an understanding of that, then they are allowed to take elements of ritual two, which is spiritual activism.
Mhm.
Spiritual activism, okay? That is taking social action that is guided by those principles under the direction of the surviving intelligence of the ancestors with enough humility, you know. These days, I write the word revolution with a small r and a capital E, you know, so that we understand that we are impetus to move the evolution. We have to move,
Yeah.
okay? Spirituality without action is just playing with your navels, right? Yeah. And action without spirituality falls, you end up in dictatorship,
Yeah.
okay? Clearly, one of the things that we have to do is send transforming energy to these so-called leaders, because they're leading us to hell, to be
Yes.
honest with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
And then we ourselves must take on the leadership role in the greater web and turn things the way in the direction that we need to take it. One of the things that I'm talking to people about quite a bit right now is the isms. Okay, some people say, well, if we do conscious capitalism, and some people say, well, if we do socialism, and some people say, if we do communism, and guess what? All them isms were based on an idea of the endless extraction from the earth.
Mm.
Uh-huh. And Mama's saying, no, you will not continue to drain my blood and dig into my body. So you better think of another way to relate to resource and fullness. Okay. And this is the thing. because we are in a period of change where all we have is the light in our own eyes to light the path. So we have a concept called Sankofa, okay? And in Sankofa, we look at what is it that our ancestors knew and did. What did they do when the world was new, right? What's in our stories? And we take that and we bring it forward and transform it so that it can be picked up for the coming generations. I don't know if you all can see my earrings, but this is the Sankofa bird. And the bird has an egg. It's looking backwards. It has an egg in its mouth and it's flying forward, you see. So we have to go back and fetch the original principles. We have to go back and take a look at how we were with the earth then, and then we have to take into consideration what we have gone through and take that wisdom into the future. Okay? That is the job that we have now, and to a certain extent, I will say, when I look at most of the quote unquote leaders, they have a big lesson coming, and I don't want to be the person to have to deliver it to them. You know, when mama starts spanking, I'm gonna lay back and say, it ain't me.
That's a good little pause point. And rather than getting spanked, let's get blessed with some music. There's a lot to take in. I hope you're all enjoying the wisdom of Luisa and, of course, Jyoti. And now we get to hear the wisdom of Omashar in the way that he loves to express, which is through his beautiful music.
All right. Just a minute. Can you hear me?
Yeah, and I keep hitting replace spotlight, and it's not letting me do it. Oh, and I'm frozen. Uh-oh.
Freeze me. Hang on a minute.
Omashar, I think my computer might have frozen. Something's going on.
There we go. We're good.
Okay, great.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I sure can.
So, holy smoke, Luisa and Jyoti, this is a very sobering show because, you know, it seems, you know, what she was saying about during the pandemic and everybody, generally speaking, not being able to move. And it was actually shown that the earth was healing herself by not being polluted so much, and the atmosphere around us was happening. And it's just, for me, it's very, very sobering. And what is it going to take for us to wake up? Because it's what is happening is the house is on fire, but someone's turning the radio up. Someone's making the advertising even more salubrious and wonderful and attractive. And it's like nobody's noticing except those of us who are noticing. So that's what I'm going to say about that, because it is sobering for me. And I'm grateful to be sobered up because this is what we care about behind us, right?
Absolutely.
Me. Mother, I offer my love to you for the healing of the people. Pachamama, I offer my love to you for the healing of our earth. We're healing the people. We're healing the earth. We're healing the people. We're healing the earth. grateful for your love. So grateful to be here. So grateful for your love. Mother, what can we do now for the healing of our people? Pachamama, what more can we do now for the healing of the earth? Because I'm listening with my heart and I'm offering my hands. I'm listening with my heart and I'm offering my hands. We're healing the people, we're healing the earth. We're healing the people, we're healing the earth. I'm so grateful to be here, so grateful for your love. So grateful to be here, so grateful for your love. And I'm listening with my heart, and I'm opening my mind. And I'm listening with my heart, and I'm offering my hands. 'Cause Mother, I offer my love to you for the healing of the people. Pachamama, I offer my love to you for the healing of our earth. We're healing the people, we're healing the earth. We're healing the people, Mother, I offer my love to you.
Let's go to gallery view and let's all give a big twinkle. That is the most perfect song for this show tonight. That's just a wonderful song. Wonderful song.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a group song that I've known for years, but I rewrote it for tonight because we are in a situation where we are the ones who are turning the world around. We're turning ourselves inside out and finding out how to rise. And I was going to say fix this mess, but I won't say that. So I didn't say that.
Thank you so much, Omashar. Thank you. It is a more sober show tonight, and it is really about Mother's Day. And Mother's Day shouldn't just be one day of the year that we think about Mom and how wonderful she is and take her out to breakfast or give her a call. And likewise, our true mother, all of us share one mother, and it's this beautiful planet right behind me. We all share this beautiful planet. It's our mother. And so it is important what we're hearing from our friends tonight, what we're hearing from other different people that, are blessing us with their presence. And so I'm going to go back and complete the video that we were watching. And then we're going to hear from Larisa Stow and also Mark and Clare Dubois. Let's go back to the video that we've been watching.
Not me. I'm not in that lineup. You know what?
Whoops.
She was just talking about not being spanked by Mama GAIA.
Yep. I remember that. And for some reason, the video is freezing. So maybe
just give it a moment. Once you turn it on, leave it to catch up.
Don't quite know. I think, I'm going to have to clear some stuff on my computer because I think my computer's just gotten too frozen up with stuff. Um, Let me see if my video of Larisa Stow plays properly. Up here. I'm so grateful. Okay. So we are going to switch gears for a moment. We are going to switch over to hear what Larisa Stow has to say. And Larisa's become one of my dearest friends. And it's so funny. I did this interview with her last night. And today, Facebook spontaneously brought up friends for 15 years, Scott Katamas and Larisa Stow. So a little bit of a cosmic moment there. Previously, Larisa had shared with me about this very profound experience she had of communing with with Mother Earth. And so I asked her, hey, can we have you on the show? She was busy tonight, but we did a pre-record last night. And, Larisa speaks from the heart. And so here is the experience that she had of what Mother Earth had to say to her. That my friend Larisa Stow is going to share with us her experience. And we've now heard what the KOGI's message from the mother is. We've heard from others. And Larisa, who in my experience, she's a brilliant musical artist because she's a clear channel for spirit to flow through. And as a result, she has had some very powerful experiences. And she has shared this experience that she's going to talk about now with me before. And that's why when I knew we were doing the show, it's like, Larisa, can you share with the audience what you experienced in terms of your direct connection to beloved Mother Earth? So thank you for being with us, and please take it away and share your story.
Thank you, Scott. I've shared with others before, but this all started when I had been in the hospital and I didn't know it at the time, but I was battling an infection, a bacterial infection of C. diff, and I had been put in the hospital because of an issue with my ovaries, and I had been exposed to the C. diff. So, and I shared with you that when I was a child, when I was in utero, not a child, but a baby in utero, my mama took DES, which was a pharmaceutical, and it created a lot of problems with my hormones because it's an estrogen disruptor. So I was in the hospital, which I've been in the hospital a lot for reproductive issues, and I had gotten so sick, but I had this amazing experience when I was in the hospital of the feeling, the light of Divine Mother coming in the hospital and teaching me quite a bit. And from that night, it was the night before Good Friday, and it was like the eve of Good Friday. And I'd been doing so horribly, and then all of a sudden, after experiencing the light, I went from all these horrible symptoms to being released from the hospital on Good Friday. And I was doing well until Easter, and my daughter accidentally hit me in the gut. And of course, we didn't know I had C. diff, so it got really activated, and I was in a lot of pain. And I was in my temple, which is right behind our home, and with my really good friends, one of my besties, Mirabai, and my bestie, Laurie Goldstein, and Ben, just, who you know so well, co-musician, co-collaborator. And I was in bed in the temple because I couldn't really move. And I had this experience as they were giving me lots of love and healing energy, of being this energy coming into my body, and all this emotion started to well up, and I started to feel the emotion got so incredibly strong, and I had this awareness that it wasn't mine, all these thoughts and feelings that were starting to move through me. And I started to give these feelings and thoughts expression. And I could feel myself, it felt so surreal because I could feel my own consciousness like beginning to witness. And it was so huge, and I just let it completely come through. And what I experienced was a massive amount of grief and feeling the grief of, like, it felt ancient, like thousands of years of grief. And in what came out was this call, this cry for help. And it was what I experienced as Mama Gaia, like coming through with this cry for help. And she expressed how betrayed that she had felt by
properly, or that they're freezing up. And I don't quite know what the issue is. So, perhaps I'll even share Luisa's story, since she just told it to me last night. So while she was in this kind of state on Easter weekend, she experienced Mother Earth coming to her, and very similar to the KOGI message, expressing her pain and expressing the way Luisa experienced it, a feeling of abandonment, that her own children, that's all of us, had abandoned her. And the sadness and the pain, and it struck Larisa so strongly, so powerfully. And in the video last night, actually, Larisa actually starts to weep as she shares her own feeling of the pain of Mother Earth, feeling abandoned by her children. So I just found that experience that Larisa had is so similar to what we saw with the KOGI video. And, and then Larisa and I kind of talk about how we all kind of imagine Mother Earth as this always loving, kind, beautiful, always nurturing, which she is, loving all of her beings, all of her children. But maybe it's time for us also to empathize with her, empathize with what it feels like for so many of her rivers to be polluted, for so much to be going on that's impacting her. And obviously I don't need to say any more because we all know, we've been watching it. And so that's it's powerful. It's powerful. I know that Connie and Andrew are back. And while I try and figure out what's going on with these recordings, and if I can kind of get them to completion and to play, I am going to turn the camera over to our beloved Connie, and possibly Andrew, if he's around. There she is. They're back from Australia. So welcome back, Connie. Please share with us a little bit about your time in Kangaroo Land. There's your little kangaroo and baby. Tell us about your time in Australia, and then also your thoughts about tonight's show.
Yes, I just showed you that little koala that I got to hold while I was there. And it was just such a blessing to be there in Australia. That Mother Earth is just so full of love in Australia, with their animals, the kangaroos and the koalas and all the birds and the rainforests and the oceans and the cliffs and the beaches, and it's just so much Mother Earth there. And I just, we just had the most amazing time of spirit ramping up the interconnectedness at heart level of trust, and something that I'd seen 30 years ago, which I called the Good Guy Network, that everyone in their hearts were going to be connected all over the world at such deep levels. And when Spirit gave this message, just get the job done. And it's just been ramped up so strongly. And the whole call for us to come to Australia just manifested all that. And with our film and all of our connection with the Aboriginals and other wise ones. And so I just wanted to say about the current topic of tonight, and that is that I did a bumper sticker in 1995, and it was Mother Earth loves us, because it's all about, it's always been love your mother. And until we come to understand how loved we are by Mother Earth, which we've, in this last 30 years since 1995, we really come into that, especially through the climate crisis that has, I believe, everything serves the coming of peace on earth and heaven on earth, and that the climate crisis has been here to show us how much we love Mother Earth, how much we care, and to connect us to our compassion and kindness and all that Luisa and that Jyoti Ma was speaking of. And that's what it's done. It's really catapulted us into understanding that separation from the love of the Mother Earth doesn't work, that seeing her as a resource instead of honoring her and loving her and all of creation through what the indigenous peoples have been carrying for us, which is that understanding of the sacredness and oneness of all life, the spirit that lives in the rocks. I mean, I've known indigenous elders who have two-way conversations with rocks, and I have been speaking on that for 30 years since I first experienced it. So as the frequency is rising on the planet, we're getting into that level where one thing, we're communicating with the extraterrestrial people now, that contact is becoming much more prevalent and much more imminent, but also connecting like through Danalia and her listening field. I don't know if on this, Danalia, I can't remember her last name right now, but she has the listening field of listening to our nature elders. It's such important work that as we're rising in frequency to what we call the trust frequency, that we're experiencing this interconnectedness. And, there's another thing on social media, on Instagram and Facebook, the reels that are coming up with the animals loving on each other and loving on little babies. I don't know if your feed, you guys' feed, I imagine your guys' feed is full of this stuff because of the algorithms of who we all are. But I mean, to experience, elephants caressing each other and horses talking to little babies, and oh my God, it's happening, that it's circumstances and technology and it all is opening our hearts to this next level, this next vibratory level. So yeah, everything you're doing, Scott, and this beautiful program of, recognizing the trauma, but also taking it to that next level, which Omashar, you're that great balance to that as well. Because everybody feels the pain, and this show just brings forth that evolutionary spiral, upward spiral, that it's so important that we keep our focus on that higher frequency and feed the collective with that higher frequency. So blessings to you, Scott, for this show and all that you're bringing through it.
Thank you, Connie. That's a perfect kind of sharing, and give our love to Andrew and welcome back to the mainland. And I'm so glad that you're back and that you're safe and that the trip went so well.
Yeah, phenomenal.
All right, I think this is going to play. It's our last interview, and then we'll close with an Omashar song and a couple of Global Peace Tribe announcements. But this is with my friends Clare and Mark Dubois. Well, actually, they live right here in Nevada City. I had dinner with them on Thursday night, and we did this little interview. And they're beautiful, beautiful souls. Clare was one of the co-founders of Tree Sisters, and through her support, literally 20, I think it's something like 26 million trees have been planted. It's extraordinary. Anyway, Clare and Mark are longtime environmentalists. They're very beloved in the kind of environmental community. And here's what they have to say about tonight's theme. Oh, and let me make sure. One more thing. Okay, here we go. And I know how much you love the mother, and I'm really eager to hear what you have to say.
Oh, you're going to drop us in just like that?
Absolutely. This is it. They're happening.
Over to you.
Well, I would offer that to me, we're in the middle of humanity's greatest awakening. And by far, humanity's greatest awakening in our evolutionary journey. And that, you know, we all know the journey from hunting and gathering to, you know, to ag, from ag to industrial, from industrial to tech. And now we're moving into this time of our operating system has been fear, and we're moving to operating from love. And that love is in deep connection and sacred reverence for this great Mother Earth, this sacred planet, this Mother Gaia. And we have forgotten and we have dismembered ourselves, and now Native people have been trying to remind us, reconnect us to that which all of our ancestors knew. And we've been so excited by the hamster wheel of our creativity that we've done the best we could, and now we get to remember, and it's happening all over the planet. It's under the media's radar. And yet my experience is more and more people are choosing to live in alignment with this sacred earth and all of our neighbors. And so the media attention is on all of the challenges which do break our heart, and they are very, very real. And that human nature that knows when we're not in alignment, we strive for more alignment. And so living with this planet it's the time we get to live in, and it's clearly calling us to completely transform the relationships we inherited of disconnection with each other and this earth. And now we get to connect our hearts, live in love, and learn to dance forward together with in connection with all.
Beautiful, Mark. Thank you. And I appreciate your optimism and giving us some perspective. Thank you. Clare, what comes up for you?
Yeah, I'm sitting here waiting for a response in myself. I think the word mother brings up the overworked and underappreciatedness of women in our society, and like the ultimate role that mother plays in giving and giving and giving and giving. I mean, I'm remembering back to this ritual theater I did, which was almost at the beginning, like before Tree Sisters happened, the thing that got me going, which was when I played Earth in a ritual theater piece called The Rape of the Earth. And I was Gaia, and I was raped. And I went into shock because there I was handing out cups of tea and handing out cups of tea and handing out cups of tea while I was being raped. And it was this thing that the people that were demolishing me and mining me and overfishing me and all the rest of it, they were just totally taking for granted the fact that I was giving out these cups of tea and giving out these cups of tea. Like I would just keep giving, because that's what Gaia does, until the point that she can't give anymore. And the fact that we're, you know, shredding the life support systems that have allowed her to keep herself cool, just that one factor of being stabilized. And that we know what we're doing, we see what we're doing, and we don't seem to be able to stop. And so, you know, in that moment when I woke up, that was my wake up, was, oh my God, you don't put a planet into therapy. Like, you can't, like, once we've done this, and what do we do? And that was when I pledged my life to the planet. But then I pledged my life in such a way that I burnt myself out to the point of my own complete collapse, which is equally not the way of being. So it was just like, okay, we can overdo our way into planetary burnout, and then I can overdo my way through service in a desperate attempt to restore her into burnout. You know, what's actually the way? And I think the word, oh, mosquito in my face. I think the word is literally stop. Because unless we slow down, unless we stop with the insane doing, whether it's insane taking or insane restoration, in my case, it's just like, you know, what do we do? There is no connection in that place. There is no ability to hear what is wanted in that place. I'm just going to regurgitate more of what my mind tells me that we've been taught is a solution, rather than listening to mother. Like, rather than actually going, wow, there is this immense intelligence here that is billions of years old, that knows exactly how to create perfection, more beauty than we could ever get our heads around, more balance, more generosity, more just symbiosis, more exquisiteness. Like, Gaia is exquisite, but if we don't slow down, we can't connect to ourselves enough to be able to even begin to hear her. It's like we bandy these words around, like, we need to be more connected. What does it actually mean? How do we actually do it? Like, what does it even feel like? Why do we not want to feel it? What's pushing us into the fastness so that we can't feel it? What are we afraid of feeling if we begin to feel that connection that allows us to realize what we're doing? And so, you know, our culture doesn't know how to appreciate mothers. It doesn't understand the vast overgiving that is the endless outpouring of love that is required from mothering. And we take our bodies for granted. We expect them to just carry on with the minimum of self-care. You know, we'll just push ourselves endlessly. And somewhere in there is this place of, what does it mean to get down on our hands and knees and put our hands on the earth and just say, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I haven't even seen you. I've been so busy taking you for granted. I have not even been able to connect to the immensity of your generosity. I am so sorry. Like, I'm not just going to take my mother out for a meal and say, this is Mother's Day. Not that I'm shaming everybody that's doing that, but it's just like, that's what we do. We just say, oh, we'd say grace at a meal and say, that's enough. It's not enough. It's like, the KOGI talk about deepest reciprocity. The indigenous peoples of our planet talk about lived reciprocity. Well, it means paying enough attention to Gaia to even begin to know what it means to give back, so that we can feed her with our love and our appreciation and our offerings. Like, they call it giving payments. Like, literally feeding her into those points where her body needs restoration and feeding. And so much of that comes through our consciousness. So I think, you know, my prayer would be that Mother's Day becomes a moment within which we can feel that our depth of presence and love is food for the mother, and that she needs feeding, and she needs seeing, and she needs honoring, and she needs respecting, and she needs reverence, and she needs care, she needs apology. Maybe she doesn't, but I feel like we do. We need to wake up to what we're doing, and then to drench her in love.
Drenching her in love. I love that. And as always, what both of you express just always opens my heart. Your level of love, your level of passion, and the wonderful reminder that well-intentioned, but let's do it with love and not with desperation. Maybe that's what it is. You know, it's like, doing it with love and with passion, drenching with love, but not from a, oh my God, the sky is falling, the world is going to end if I don't, make 5 more phone calls. Yeah.
To me, anytime I do anything out of fear and scarcity, I'm actually perpetuating the old world. And so to do it out of love, the one of the lessons that the river filled me with was, again, when you're going through really major water, you have to see all the obstacles, but to survive and thrive, you put all your attention on the through line. Where does the current must flow? Because if you focus on the obstacles, they become magnets and draw you to them. And so to me, our fears are justified, and we now get to, as Clare didn't quite learn, we get to learn to operate from love, to doing the very best we can, and be an invitation for all of our other neighbors to join us in who knows the future. We can't predict, and yet our intuition knows the through line, and that is in living in sacred reciprocity with this sacred, miraculous earth that has overflowed with abundance and miracles of life. And we've been so caught up in the hamster wheel, we've forgotten to see who we really are, and this, all that Clare so beautifully described.
Well, and what is love? What is love? Love is not fluffy. And it's not just, oh, I love you. It's connection. It's deep connection. It's deep presence. It's a willingness to be opened. It's a willingness to crack open to the deeper reservoirs of our own heart's capacity. And you can't do that when you're running at high speed either.
Right.
You can't do anything when you're running at high speed apart from run.
For me, love is radical acceptance of exactly what is and compassionate understanding of others. That to me is love. That's, in my 68 years, what I've learned. When we're doing that, then we're experiencing mature love.
Beautiful. Indeed, indeed.
And both of you do that. Both of you practice that. And I know that, and it's not, and we are still learning, we just keep growing and learning together. And I always learn from both of you. Thank you so much for these beautiful, a little homeopathic dose of Mark and Clare Dubois. And enjoy that river, my friend.
Will do. And may we all learn to dance down this river of life together, and aligned with this sacred miracle we all get to be a part of.
Happy Pachamama Day.
Indeed.
They're beautiful. I really love those two. I had a really lovely dinner with them a couple nights ago. Well, we are winding down. We don't have a KES healing tonight, but we will be resuming those in June. I do want to remind everybody that we've got something very special taking place on Wednesday night. And that is, we're going to have an evening with Marianne Williamson. And it's going to be just her and us, Global Peace Tribers. She has asked not to broadcast it out. She wants to be able to speak candidly and honestly with us. So we are not going to put it out to our normal Facebook groups and pages or YouTube channels. So if you want to be with Marianne Williamson next week, you got to come on into the Zoom room. And that means being part of the Global Peace Tribe. Now, for all of you in the Zoom room right now, you're all subscribers, but please pay attention to the email I'll be sending, because next Wednesday night's show will be a different email address, or Zoom room, I should say. It'll be a different Zoom room address. So definitely make sure that you pay attention to your email and use the unique link just for next Wednesday night. For those of you that are watching on Facebook or YouTube and you aren't part of our current subscriber plan, join us. And it's really easy to do that. Just go to globalpeacetribe.com, globalpeacetribe.com. And we've got you'll see what it says register for the new season. And we've set up a new registration page specifically built around knowing that a lot of people are going to want to join us to be part of Marianne Williamson. So definitely come and join us. And you can come in at different levels, and that explains it to you. So please join us so that you can join us for Marianne Williamson and get the links for all of our shows for the rest of this season. There's a lot of wonderful posts that people have put into the chat box, including a link where people can watch in real time the Aurora Borealis. So thank you, Dorina Joy, for providing that to us. I know that earlier the wild monk of the Mystic Monastery, Sherry Anderson, posted a beautiful photo from the Aurora. So those of you who want to tune into it, definitely do that. And thank you, everybody, for all of your comments and for being part of this. It's been a beautiful, beautiful show. Two more things. In a moment, Eleanor Joy, I'm going to, if you're okay with it, I'd love to put the camera on you and just have you give people an update. And while you're kind of preparing what you want to say, people have asked about our beloved Piper. And please, please increase your prayers for her. They have found, unfortunately, additional tumor. There's more happening than she knew previously. Even this week, there was some new tumor found. So she's very tired. She tries to join us, but she is really doing a lot of rest and sleeping. And so just please put Piper Dellums into your prayers. In fact, right now, let's just all maximum grace for beloved Piper Dellums. I'm going to go to gallery view so we can see each other. Maximum grace for our beloved Piper. Maximum grace for Piper Dellums. Maximum grace for Piper Dellums. Thank you, everybody. And I'm going to put the spotlight on Eleanor so she can give us kind of her report on how she's doing.
Well, as you can see, I'm not looking very good. It's a bit embarrassing, but it's not good. I'm not in Piper's position, but it's definitely not good. I can't even hardly swing my legs out of the bed now and go. I can't go anywhere. So I don't know. I had a big wake-up call the other day, and it's no longer about healing or not healing or making an inch forward or whatever. It's about just being totally in the moment and allowing love to flow in and through me and appreciating everything that's happening, the kindness of people, the flowers coming in, and my delicious gluten-free black bean chocolate brownie that I got today. So I'm just focusing on other things, and I have no idea where my life is going to go from here to, I don't know, the next 6 months or whatever. We'll just see what happens.
Well, all right, everybody, let's send maximum grace to our beloved Eleanor Joy. Maximum grace for Eleanor Joy. Maximum grace for Eleanor Joy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eleanor Joy. And for those of you who would like to see it, here is an image just sent to us of the Aurora Borealis over San Francisco, which is not far from where I am. But this was from Dorina. What an amazing photograph. Look at that. The Aurora Borealis over San Francisco, over the Golden Gate Bridge. What an exquisite photo. Wow. And there's only one way we can conclude a show like this, and that is with our beloved brother, Omashar. Omashar, with the beautiful Pachamama behind you. What say thee? What sing thee?
Well, this is for the mother in us all and for the divine feminine, which is taking her throne again, because we cannot live without Pachamama, without the divine feminine being on the throne of where we're moving forward. And sobering, it's funny, the word sobering, it kind of has a tinge of sadness in it, but not really. I do feel a tinge of sadness, but more that I'm waking up to the enormity of what we have ahead of us, and the gratitude that there are so many of us doing it. I mean, there are millions of us around the world who are lifting each other up right now. Maybe not in comparison to the billions of us that live here, but the percentage is so large that the tipping point has already been tipped. And I know that we are stepping into that, which is true. And we just have to kind of stand true within ourselves whilst the turmoil happens around us, because it is going to get more turmoilous. That's a word that I just made up. And on that note, I'm going to sing us a beautiful song with this beautiful background. And here we go.
Thank you, Omashar. Oh, that is a beautiful background.
All right. We must sing. I think we're all good. Yep, we're good. Oh, my love, don't cry. I'm with you here inside, and I love you. I'm with you all the way. Oh, my love, close your eyes, rest a while, realize you're so very loved all the time, all the time. I hold you here in my heart, it's vast as an ocean. Sleeping child, don't dream we're apart, dream your eyes are open, open your eyes. Precious one, everyone, you're not alone, not forgotten, you are coming home, so rest into yourself. You're the one I'm waiting for, I'll patiently wait at your door, and when you are ready, open and be free. I hold you here in my heart, it's vast as an ocean. Sleeping child, don't dream we're apart, dream your eyes are open, open your
Funkle time for Omashar. Thank you, everybody, for moving and grooving and dancing to his beautiful music. Thank you so much.
You are so wonderful. And just, where are we? Let's get me up here. Just so you know, that is a song that I love, but it's written by a woman called Kathy Zavada, who is the new Unity minister up actually in Ashland.
Oh, wow.
Right. So she opened a church there just a few months, and there's already 100 to 200 people turning up every week. However, it's a song very dear to my heart, and it's called Mother's Song, and it's very appropriate for Pachamama and for Mother's Day. And so there we are.
Wow. Well, definitely remind me next time I'm in Ashland so that I can connect with her.
Do so. She's a phenomenal songwriter and an absolutely gorgeous human being.
Oh, beautiful. And thank you again, everybody, for being with us. Thank you for dancing. And I look forward to seeing you Wednesday night with Marianne Williamson. Get your questions ready. We're going to try and get as many questions to her as we can. And it's going to be a very special night. Look forward to seeing all of you then. Have a beautiful Sacred Sunday. And I'm going to end with an image for you, Omashar. Here is the Aurora Borealis over your beloved glass.
Are you serious? Unbelievable. I can't believe that I was in bed when this was all happening. That is phenomenal. I've never seen it over San Francisco, the Golden Gate Bridge, or over the Tor, St. Michael's Chapel up there. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you to Dorina for providing those, and Michelle Calborn for taking the photo. Take care, everybody. Have a beautiful Sacred Sunday, and we'll see you on Wednesday night.